It's just after midnight on the 6th of June 1944. A wooden glider skims silently over the dark fields of Normandy. It lands just yards from its target. The doors burst open. At the front of the charge, a 29-year-old lieutenant named Den Brotheridge. He would be the first Allied soldier killed on D-Day. But behind that historic moment was a young man with a football dream, a family he loved, and a future that was never meant to be. This is the story of Lieutenant Herbert Den Brotheridge, the first to fall and one of the bravest to rise. Herbert Den Brotheridge, known to his family and friends simply as Den, was born on December the 8th, 1915 in Smethwick, Staffordshire. He was the son of Herbert Charles and Lillian Brotheridge, and from an early age he stood out, not just for his leadership, but for his sportsmanship. A talented footballer, Den played for the Aston Villa Colts and was equally at home on the cricket pitch, representing Mitchell and Butlers in his hometown. But off the field, he had a quiet dedication to service, working as a weights and measures inspector for Aylesbury Borough Council. In 1940, as the storm clouds of war gathered, Den married the love of his life, Margaret Plant. Their future seemed bright, but fate had other plans. On July the 4th, 1942, Den was commissioned into the Oxfordshire and Buckinghamshire Light Infantry. He quickly rose through the ranks and was given command of 25 Platoon in Major John Howard's elite D Company, part of the newly formed 6th Airborne Division. Originally, it wasn't meant to be Den leading the 1st Platoon, but days before the invasion of Normandy, the order changed, and now he would be the first man to step into history. On the evening of June the 5th, 1944, Den boarded a glider at RAF Tarrant Rushden. The mission was simple in words, but nearly impossible in execution. Capture the Cairn Canal Bridge at Benouville in a silent surprise assault. The world will come to know it as Pegasus Bridge. Just after midnight, his glider slammed to the ground, less than 50 feet from the objective. It was a perfect landing. Den led the charge across the bridge, silencing a German machine gun post on the western bank. But as they pressed forward, fire erupted from the direction of the Gondry Cafe. Den was hit and struck in the neck. He collapsed just moments after making it across. He never regained consciousness. Den Brotheridge died on D-Day, not long after midnight. He became the first Allied soldier killed in action during the Normandy landings, but his sacrifice helped secure one of the most critical objectives of the entire campaign. He was laid to rest in Ranville Churchyard, the first British cemetery liberated on French soil. His headstone bears the words chosen by his family. Out of the bitterness of war, he found the perfect peace. He was mentioned in dispatches for his gallantry in Normandy. Lieutenant Herbert Den Brotheridge was just 29 years old, but no medal could ever fully capture what he gave that night for his men, his country, and for the world. He wasn't just the first to fall on D-Day, he was a husband, a leader, a man with a life ahead of him. Lieutenant Den Brotheridge crossed Pegasus Bridge in the opening moments of the liberation of Europe and gave his life to make that freedom possible. His story lives on in history books, but his voice, that depends on us. If this story meant something to you, let us know in the comments. Have you visited Pegasus Bridge? Does your family have a D-Day connection? We'd love to hear your stories too. And don't forget to like and share so more people remember the name. Lieutenant Herbert Den Brotheridge, the first to fall, forever remembered. If you like listening to the stories of the history of those who came before, then please give the video a like and subscribe to keep updated about future videos of the history of those who came before.